What is going on, everybody? This is Sam with Troops Mowing, and in this video, I'm going to show you which stage of business I personally recommend you get to. Alrighty, so we are going to jump into a screen sharing, and I'm going to kind of go over the different stages of business that I see a lot of different lawn care companies get into. As you can see on the bottom, I am offering paid coaching calls. And so if that's something that you are interested in, please go to the email in the description below. And so I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen, and let's just jump right into this. All right, so I asked ChatGPT what are the top reasons that people start their lawn or start a business in general. And I kind of just went through all of the options that I thought related to me personally. And so you can see here that take home pay, work life balance, reduced stress, passive income stream for them and their family, a desire for recognition and or pride. They wanted to face new challenges and scheduling or flexibility within their schedule. And so these stages of business that I see that I've personally been through, so I can't relate to a $2 million, $3 million, $4 million company just yet. But I see the stages of business are from 0 to 80,000, 80,000 to 150,000, 150 to 500, 500 to 750, and then 750 to a million in annual revenue. Those are the different stages of business. And what I mean by stages of business is there's different nuances, headaches, stresses, pros, cons in each of these annual revenue categories. And I'm going to break them down in relation to each of these categories. So let's just go with stage one of business. So you're 0 to 80,000. This is typically you have a lawnmower in your garage and you're putting it in the back of your truck and you're just trying to get after it and make some money. So for take home pay, what ultimately is going to happen is you have very minimal expenses, but you don't have enough revenue on the books for it to make it worthwhile for you. You're probably better off at the job that you're trying to leave in this stage. So for take home pay, I got to give this a fat X. For work-life balance, I'm actually going to go ahead and give this a yay. Oh, that's dark and that's not easy to see, but I'm going to go ahead and give that a yay. Because you are not going to have a whole lot of jobs on the schedule from 0 to 80,000. If you're working 5-6 days a week, you are only going to work a few hours a day if you're only making that much in annual revenue. So you're going to have a relatively good work-life balance. Reduce stress. I'm going to kind of leave this one blank because you have the stress of trying to provide for yourself and or your family. But you don't have enough work on the books to kind of stress about actual company. So I'm going to kind of leave this one as neutral. And for the ones that are neutral, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as blank. Passive income stream. You do not have a passive income stream. And I know that there's like IRS definitions of what a passive income stream is. For the purpose of this video, passive income stream is basically you do not have to be on the lawn. You don't even have to be at work and you can still make money. At this stage of business, that's not going to happen. Desire for recognition. I'm going to go ahead and give this an X because you want to act and you want to say like you own a company, but you really own a job. It's admirable, but I don't think if you're kind of going in for like a feeling of pride or people are going to be like, hey, good job. You're not going to get that at this stage, unfortunately. If you're wanting to face new challenges, I think that you're going to face plenty of new challenges doing something brand new. And so for this stage of business, I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, you're going to face some new challenges. And then scheduling flexibility. I'm actually going to say that this is a pro of this stage. Granted, you're not making a whole lot of money, but you also don't have a lot of jobs on the schedule. So you do have a lot of flexibility within your schedule to kind of do what you see fit. I would obviously recommend that you kind of dedicate that time to reinvest that time back into your business, but you have a lot of flexibility in that schedule. Now let's go to the second stage of business, 80,000 to 150,000. There's going to be a lot of caveats to this stage of business because if your ultimate goal is to scale to $1 million plus, what I'm going to say here might not apply. But if your goal is to be a solo operator, you do not want employees, you just want your customers, make them profitable. This is the pocket that you are going to be in. And everything that I'm going to say here is going to apply specifically to you. So for take home pay, you're going to be able to take home, if you're doing 150,000 in solo operator annual revenue, you can take home over 6 figures. So I'm going to give you a good take home pay. Work-life balance. I'm also going to kind of give you, this is going to be a pro for the stage. If you're a solo operator, your work-life balance, because you're going to be working, let's say 5 days a week, you're going to be working a normal job. You can go home at 5 p.m. You have the weekends off with your family. I think that that's pretty good work-life balance if you're in the middle of your career. Reduced stress. I want to leave this one neutral, but I'm ultimately going to give it a big old green check mark, because if you're a solo operator, if you do not want to scale past this size of business, ultimately what you're going to do is you're going to continue to raise prices on your customers, and you're going to weed out the bad customers. So you're only going to be servicing the same customers year after year and making them great customers, because the price increases are going to weed out the bad customers. There's not a lot of nuances and like new challenges within this stage of business. If you're not going to scale past it, you're only going to do one or two different services, not a whole lot of stress. You're going to have physical stress, but in terms of emotional stress, I wouldn't think so. For passive income, you are not going to have passive income at this stage if you're a solo operator. And even if you're not a solo operator, at this stage of business, you are the one on every single property, or at least you should be. Desire for recognition. I'm going to give this one like neutral. Actually, no. If you're a solo operator, this is good. You're making over 6 figures mowing lawns. I'll give you a pat on the back. All right. New challenges. You're not going to face a whole lot of new challenges once you get up to this stage of business, because it's going to be boring work. You're doing the same thing day in, day out. The only challenges that you're going to face is if your equipment goes down, you have to figure out how to fix it. But if you're in it for the excitement and for always trying to challenge yourself and push the needle, it's not going to happen in this stage. Scheduling flexibility. Absolutely not. You're going to have a full schedule and you're the only one doing the work. So you are locked into what you can and can't do within your time. Next stage of business, 150,000 to 500,000. Your take home pay. I'm leaving that one neutral, because you're probably at this stage and this stage, you make the exact same amount of money, even though you're making triple the amount of annual revenue. The reason for that is because going from stage 2 to stage 3, now you have to get more trucks, you have to get more employees. Those employees are going to be inefficient. There's a lot of hurdles that you have to go through in this third stage of business. So your take home pay, I'm leaving that one neutral. Your work-life balance is going to be booty. Because you're on the jobs, you're the office manager, you're the ops manager, you're the labor, you're the fulfillment. Your work-life balance is going to be hectic here. That's why a lot of mentors in this industry recommend that you get through 500,000 as fast as possible. Reduced stress. I think that you're going to be pretty stressful on the stage. And then when I say I think, I mean I know, because I've been there. You're going to be trying to build systems, and you're ultimately getting out of, you're going to feel that tension of owning a job versus owning a company going through this stage, because you have employees. The employees are going to break things. You don't have any systems in place. How are you going to run payroll? You're figuring out everything that a company needs to figure out in this third stage of business. So you're not going to have reduced stress. Passive income, also not happening in this stage of business, because you are the one doing all the work, like I said. So if you're the one that is doing all the work and you're wearing every hat in the business, you can't leave the business and make money. Maybe you can for one day, but I don't think that's going to pass the threshold for what I'm talking about relating to passive income. Desire for recognition. I'm going to give this one to you, because having a business that's doing over 150,000 in annual revenue is deserving of recognition. And so I'll give that one to you. If you're in it for challenges, this is the stage for you. You're going to face many challenges. Like I just talked about, you're trying to figure out everything. You're going from a cush life of being a solo operator to what in the world did I get myself into? Stage 3 is a tough one. Scheduling flexibility. That's not going to happen either. I hate to break it to you. This is my least favorite stage of business for all the reasons I just listed a second ago. 500,000 to 750,000. Now we're starting to get into some exciting stuff because now you've got systems figured out. You kind of know what like the day-to-day operations is going to look like. You're probably sitting with an office manager and you're doing sales. Maybe you're only in the field 25% of the time and the other 75% is spent on growing the business. You're working on the business and not in the business, and you're starting to experience that flexibility to a large extent in this stage of business. Your take-home pay, since this one is neutral, I'm going to give it back to you. I'm going to say, here you go, buddy. You can kind of make a little bit more money. And ultimately, I would recommend you take that money in distributions instead of strictly salary. But that's a conversation for you and your CPA. Work-life balance. I'm going to leave this one neutral because even though you are getting out of the stresses of figuring out how to run a company, you are still very much in the company. I'm going to give this one a very slight, I'm not going to color this in too much. I'm going to give this a very slight work-life balance because now in relation to what you've experienced in stage 3 of business, you're going to have more work-life balance in this stage. So I'll leave it as a very slight positive and not so much a neutral. Reduced stress. I'm going to leave this one neutral as well because you're going to be facing, in the stage 3 of business, you're going through everything. In this stage of business, you're kind of still in that, like trying to figure out what a company really is and optimizing everything. And so you're not going to be horribly stressed, but you're still not out of the weeds. So I'm going to keep that one neutral. For passive income stream, I'm also going to keep this one neutral because there's opportunities for you to kind of get out of the business. If you have a very profitable operation, you can kind of hire a general manager here. You're not going to make a whole lot of passive income, but you can make more than $1 in passive income in this stage. But I'm going to leave that one neutral. Desire for recognition. Yeah, you got it. You're building an actual company and not so much a job. So you're going to get it there. New challenge. You're going to get new challenges in this one because you're still trying to build out those systems. You're still trying to make your employees efficient. Employees are going to be leaving. You got to figure out how to do automations to ultimately leverage time savings in your business. So you're going to face a lot of new challenges in this stage of business. Schedule flexibility. I'm going to leave this one as neutral as well because you're still very much needed in this stage of business. And so you can't just be like, see you guys, I'm leaving for a month. Don't call me. You can't really do that in the stage. But you also can get away with it here and there. So I'm going to leave that one neutral. The last and final stage of business, 750 to $1 million. This is kind of like, hey, you've made it. I think 87.5% of stats are made up on the spot, but I think they say like less than 1% of businesses get past the $1 million mark. And you can be like, hey, good job. You did it. So we're going to see a lot of benefits and not so many cons in this stage of business. And granted, if you're trying to scale past $1 million, some of this might change. But if your goal is to sit in that pocket of 750 to $1 million and just continuously raising prices and making it as profitable as possible, this is a beautiful stage of business to be in. Take home pay. You're going to make some good money in this stage. A lot of distributions to be had if you grew your company correctly. And if you're curious on if you're growing your company correctly, hey, I do paid coaching. I know a guy. All right, work-life balance. You're going to have great work-life balance because you don't have to be in the field. You can probably never push a lawnmower again in this stage of business. And you can have an office manager take care of everything. You could have a general manager. You could literally never show up to your business if you've structured it that way in this stage of business and still make some money, which I'm going to scooch on down to the passive income section because you can make that here. Reduced stress. Yeah, you're going to have some reduced stress, especially, and I should say only, if you've built your business to the point where it can rely on systems and not rely on you. So I should put a little asterisk next to it. But if you've built your business correctly, and reach out to me if you're curious if you are or are not. But if you built your business correctly, you're going to have a lot of reduced stress. Desire for recognition. You built $1 million company damn near. We'll give you that recognition. New challenges. I'm going to say no. There's not going to be a whole lot of new challenges here. Your system should already be built out. You should already be relying on different people. You individually are not going to receive a whole lot of new challenges in this stage of business, which maybe over a few year period of you growing to this size of business, maybe you're done with experiencing challenges and you don't like it. So maybe we'll give you a little check mark because you've accomplished your challenge. You've scratched that challenge itch. You're on to greener pastures. Schedule flexibility. If your goal is to get out of the business and you've built your business correctly, you technically don't even have to show up to work. So yeah, we'll give you that schedule flexibility. But hey guys, this video I hope helps you out. You are probably my audience typically is less than $1 million in annual revenue. So you are somewhere in this stage of business. I hope this video helps. If you want paid coaching, if you want one-on-one assistance and personalized help for your business, I would love to help you out. Once again, my name is Sam. I'm the co-owner of Troops Mowing, almost $1 million company here in Hutto, Texas. And my passion currently is to help out other small businesses accomplish their goals and get time back on their schedule so they can reinvest that into either their business or their family or themselves. Thanks, guys.